Dakota, where it is not warm and balmy as it is in the Bahamas. A once-in-a-generation snowstorm just swept through. The temperatures dropped 30 or 40 degrees in less than an hour. We are told there's going to be life-threatening temperatures for much of the country. 87 million people in 27 states are under winter weather advisories. 120 million people in 30 states are under what they call extreme cold alerts. There is sub-zero temperatures all the way down now predicted to Arkansas. Meteorologist John P. Moore is here from the National Weather Service. John, thank you for being with us. And forgive me, I always hear this once-in-a-generation storm, and then I look and I see that there's 6 inches of snow predicted for Chicago. How do these two things jive?
So the once in a generation, when we talk about once in a generation with this system right here, we're talking about the cold associated with it. The cold is going to be really extreme. We're going to see wind chills between -50 and -70 in some areas, some isolated areas across the northern plains and the northern Intermountain West. So the sheer cold associated with the system and just how long this cold is going to last for those locations all the way as far south as the Gulf Coast, we'll see times where they're going to spend 24 hours at least below freezing. So a lot of people haven't dealt with this type of cold before. So when we talk once in a generation, and also the records associated with it, we're talking about it's going to break records going back all the way to the late 1800s. So it's very, very cold air mass. And couple that with the blizzard conditions that some people will see with the system, people alive haven't seen that in quite some time.
As you've been watching the coverage of this in various places, I'm thinking where it's already come through, Bismarck, North Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, -20 wind chills going all the way down through Arkansas, through Oklahoma. And you're right, Dallas does not normally get into the -10s.
Exactly.
Are people taking it as seriously as they need to?
Yes, and if they're not, I urge them to. Like I said,
are you seeing people getting ready to hunker down? Is the response sort of meeting what the fear that you all think is possible?
Our meteorologists and the National Weather Service have done a great job getting the message across to our partners and getting the message across to the public. So I would hope people have taken that message and acted accordingly based on the message that we've been delivering over the last few days.
Yeah. All right. Hey, John, thank you. I know it'll be a big couple of days for you guys, and we appreciate the warnings. Thank you. New video from El Paso. Thanks.
Well, the massive winter storm is intensifying across the country, and so is the danger from the bitter cold wind chills, Scotty.
Yeah, so we've been tracking this basically all week. It is here. These are the 3 days that we really need to be worried about. Life-threatening cold. Let me repeat that. Life-threatening cold in some areas. These are wind chills that are going to break records. On top of that, we're looking at several feet of snow, blizzards, icing. Stop me if you get bored with this. And 113 million people getting ready to start traveling at the exact same time. It's going to be a problem. The storm blowing through Seattle and Washington State, creating near whiteout conditions all around Puget Sound, up to a foot falling in some areas and even more in the higher elevations outside the city. The snow closed major interstates for hours, and now the snowstorm is moving east and intensifying. Winter storm warnings now in the Rocky Mountain states, where we could see more than a foot of snow. They are preparing for the storm and the bitter cold across Montana. The storm warning there lasts throughout the day. It's already 15 below in Helena, and that's going to seem warm. The temperature is going to keep dropping, and the wind chill around the state could reach 60 below zero over the next few days. The storm system then heads across the upper plains and will smack into the Great Lakes later this week. Residents in Michigan are preparing for several feet of snow and freezing temperatures, stocking up on food and shovels. The western side of the state is going to get the worst, but the entire state will experience blizzard conditions on Thursday and likely Friday. All right, here's that snow system right there. You can see it just moving across, leaving the Pacific Northwest, blowing right along the Canadian border here, heading towards the plains right now, and then the Great Lakes. We've got blizzard conditions already in place for parts, blizzard warnings already in place for parts of Minnesota, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, preparing for those blizzard conditions on Thursday and Friday, followed by wind chills over the weekend up there 45 below just in time for the holidays. Then that system smacks into Wisconsin and into Michigan before gaining strength and likely becoming a bomb cyclone over the Ohio River Valley, the Atlantic, and the Northeast just in time for the holidays. Let's get to the warnings. You can see the blizzard and storm warnings there. That's in the blue and the red. The green is where you're going to see the icing and the heavy snow from that bomb cyclone. And this, as that system transitions over the weekend, that's where that's going to happen. But we need to focus on the gray. That is where I'm concerned. These are the life-threatening wind chills. Montana, 60 below. Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, 55 below. Colorado, Wyoming, 50 below. Then to the south, Oklahoma, 25. Dallas, 15. Nashville, 20. These are all below zero. Birmingham, 12 below. Atlanta, 10 below. Those wind chills can cause frostbite in 2 to 5 minutes. And some of those in that 55, 70, that is life-threatening for long exposures. No one needs to be outside, and you need to bring your pets inside. This will kill pets as well. These wind chills going to start today, going to last through Friday in the Midwest, through Saturday, and maybe even to Sunday in parts of the Southeast.
Stay inside. And that bomb cyclone you talked about, what is that exactly? How
So
does that
it's
work?
the same storm. What happens is it starts intensifying so quickly that the pressure in the center of the storm just drops out and it bombs out. It's nothing more than a technical term, but it just means it really is intensifying. That's going to kick up even more snow and even stronger winds.
Stay warm, folks. Thank you, Scott.
Hey, Shalom Akim. This is Abaya Allah here at the Circuit of Yahawashi / Paradigms. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Kahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone taught me this truth well. Peace and salutations unto the shepherds that feed the sheep. Of the Heavenly Father Yahawah, which is the Heavenly Father's ancient Hebrew name, which means He to be, and the only begotten Son, who the Word again we call Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi, which means He to deliver, He's coming to deliver. The predestined elect, written in the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter of the nation of Israel, which consists of the 144,000 prophets, which are all men, and they consist of the 12 tribes, the so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians, those who descend from those 12, and are scattered in every nation under heaven. Okay, they have mixed complexions, mixed features, speak different tongues, or even closer resemble that of another nation. But spirit and bloodline goes back to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. This is not a color thing. So to you out there who might be listening, okay, the sincere Akim Akwakim, which means brothers and sisters. To you, I say Shalom. This is a real quick video. I ain't going into this Arctic cold front. Once in a lifetime, life-threatening event, which we haven't seen before in our lives, in our lifetime. Right. Now this is death by degrees. Okay, literally. That's what I'm gonna name this video. Okay, if you haven't heard yet, there's an Arctic blast coming through. You know, Babylon the Great, also known as modern day Egypt, here in the West. Okay, and they're labeling this storm a life-threatening Arctic blast. Okay, of the likes they have never seen. In the past 40 years. I would say longer than that, maybe 100 years. They've never seen temperatures drop like this across the whole United States. This is a historic event. They're labeling it as an historic event, which it is. Okay, a lot of people are talking about it. Okay, and states or people are experiencing it. Deathly cold. All right, and it's funny how a lot of these events have taken place on our Sabbath days. The Sabbath. I mean, this is the last of it this week. Okay, Wednesday night into Thursday, but now we're going into a new one, which would be Thursday night into Friday. Okay, all this stuff, all these things are going on in spiritual, and it's a sign of what end time prophecy. Okay, upon Babylon. Okay, in the world, but I'm mainly focusing on, the daughter of Egypt, which is here in America, where the Israelites are in bondage, in the great a plantation. Okay, the great slave quarters of the world, okay, which have the Israelites in captivity. All right, sounds like a broken record, but hey, we're at the end. So this is what this place was, the land of our punishment. Okay, but now the plagues are being sent. Around this time, ruining people's Christmases, and for sure that they're already talking about, expected, which they kind of keeping it on the low, expected deaths. Because if you ain't properly dressed in that kind of temperature, and that kind of weather, people gonna die. All right, whether if they're homeless, okay, if they don't have the proper heating, children. A lot of the storm is bringing blizzard conditions, okay, and that's affecting what movement of, how would you say, of products, okay, truckers. A lot of the people are expecting gifts. A lot of flights are being canceled as well. All right, a whole lot of flights are being canceled. So, hey, this is the Lord, all right, taking that mirth away from Babylon. All right, all right. It's definitely cold. Put up prayers. I'm pretty sure brothers are praying to Yahawashi, Yahawashi to protect them and their families or whatnot, because this is a deadly thing. So deadly that they might not be able to go out and speak. Okay, so this is a hell of an event. So they already doing videos on it. All right. Yeah, Greatmillstone and other camps alike that teach the correct doctrine. Okay, so they also talking about what power outages. Now, we were warned many months back that around this so-called, this dark winter phase, especially now, that they already are expecting what blackouts because of this what energy crisis. So, we're gonna see. It's already reported. Most of the farms they've been bought out. And paid for. They didn't got rid of a lot of the meats. A lot of our stuff is lab grown, or quite frankly, next year's harvest we don't have any. Okay, so this is going to further destroy whatever else on the farmland that's there, that's present. All right, they're gonna be able to grow anything. Okay, even if they try. But I don't want to ramble on too long. This is supposed to be a quick video, but I'm gonna play this part real quick just to make the point of this being a plague. All right, but this is a new term for the word plague, other than sicknesses, endemic, and words like that, synonyms. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
Our entire area. That's Thursday evening through Friday morning. And it's not just us. Almost all of Texas is under some sort of cold weather alert, and it stretches even far beyond the borders of the state of Texas. Look at this, all the way to the north. Wind chill warnings stretch from the Canadian border all the way down into portions of Oklahoma and Arkansas, and cold weather alerts all the way to the Gulf Coast. So this will be a widespread Arctic outbreak. Here's where the cold...
And that's the point. It's called an Arctic outbreak. Now, I know, a lot of people are going to give claims to HARP being used, which I clearly see that, but you have to remember all things that go on the planet, even when Esau, with his technology that the Lord gave him to pretty much disrupt and destroy the planet, was orchestrated and ordained by the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, using his left hand. Okay? Because, like I said, this storm is a once in a lifetime from what we see and from what they're saying. Okay, a deadly storm. So I just want to show you that real quick, and I'm gonna get a few scriptures and I'm gonna close it out. I didn't want this video to be too long. Just gonna get to the point, and we'll start here. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 11, and it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm." All right, this is the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, saying Yahawashi and the angelic forces, of course, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, meaning there will be a second Egypt. All right, after the one that was long destroyed, even during this time, during the Babylonian captivity, which is far later. Okay, and it says, and will destroy all the land thereof. And that's ultimately going into, the end result of the nuclear war, okay, upon Babylon. And it says, and Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawashi shall bring upon it. And this is a point right here too. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, like I just said before with the farming. Okay. It says, for this seed shall fail through the blasting and hail. Okay. And with a fearful constellation. Okay. One of those fearful constellations is the storm here, this Arctic blast from out of nowhere. Okay. And it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Because this is not only going on here, it's going on around the world as well. In Europe, etc. with this whole energy crisis. Okay, they're feeling it as well. So they're going to get their Arctic blast as well. All right. It's going to be abnormal, as most things are in this time, because we're at the end. Okay. Let me see. Where are we? All right, Ecclesiasticus, Second Esdras. We go to Psalms 82 and 2. Let's start there. It says, how long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Okay, that's going into those who rule the world. Okay, the darkness of this world. It says, defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. All right, because they got a Depop agenda. Okay, and the Lord gave them the tools to do such things. Okay, to fulfill prophecy, to fulfill His will on the left hand. And it says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. And that's been happening these last few 15, 20 years or so. Okay, but more so than ever. We just had an earthquake in California. All right, and we also had an earthquake, I heard, I think earlier this week in what Texas. Okay, like a 4.8 or something like that. So yeah, these scriptures are on point, man. They're true. The Lord is not a man that he should lie. His word don't go out void. All right, and that was written thousands of years ago. Remember, most of the prophecies are according to what the end times. All right, we're living them up right now. Okay, so let me see what else we got. Oh, this is a good one. Is Ecclesiastes 43, Ecclesiasticus 43 and 13. It says, by his commandment he maketh the snow to fall a place, and sendeth swiftly the lightnings of his judgment. Okay. And it says, through this the treasures are open, and clouds fly forth as fowls, like birds. It says those thunder clouds, or even snow clouds. So you got something called thunder snow, or something like that. And it says, by his great power he maketh the clouds firm, and the hailstones are broken small. It says, at his sight the mountains are shaken, and at his will the south bloweth, the south wind bloweth. Okay, that was the point on top. Okay, and I got one more. All right, let me see, Psalms 147. I think I read this. Let me see, but I'm gonna read it again if I did. All right, so this is Psalms 147 and 15. It says, he sendeth forth his commandment upon the earth. His word runneth very swiftly. So he giveth snow like wool. He scattereth the hoarfrost like ashes. I think I did read it, but I'll continue on. He casteth forth his ice like morsels. Who can stand before his cold? Okay. But in this time, he's giving Esau the technology to manipulate the weather. right? Which they've come out themselves on their own website telling you, yeah, we do such things. They even made movies, so it's not a so-called theory, all right? It's a fact, all right? And it says he sent about his word and melted them. He causes his wind to blow and the waters flow, okay, when it's time for it to melt. Okay, but I think I did read that. So I think that's all I had. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, I could read that too, but I'm not going to. That'll be for another video. So I just want to make that point. You know, how about Yahawashi protect those of his hopeful elect, you know, in these areas, because the East Coast is going to get hit as well. I think Saturday morning. All right, and it's supposed to also return, I think, next week. So yeah, we have yet to see. You know, it's gonna what the outcome's gonna be with this. You know, this whole power outage thing. You know, etc. You know, of this deadly storm. So I hope this video was edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom. Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi. Barakatham. Till next time, Shalom.